Hello, everyone. We have Pradyumna Singh Rathod with us. He is a petroleum engineer, but now he's working as a data scientist. So we are going to learn his journey about petroleum engineering to data science transition. I have shared his LinkedIn profile. He works as a data scientist at Halliburton right now, which is a US-based petroleum and gas company. And if you look at his background, he did BTech in petroleum engineering from Rajasthan Technical University, and then he did his MTech from IIT, again petroleum engineering, but then he transitioned as a data scientist. So we'll learn how he did the transition, and if you are planning to transition to data science from a different domain, you will get some useful tips from this conversation. So Pradyumna, first of all, thank you very much for spending time on weekend for this conversation.
No issues. Thanks a lot to you. I'm glad to be part of this. Thanks for having me to this channel.
Great. So let's talk about your journey. So how did you become data scientist with a petroleum engineering background, and what motivated you for this transition?
So it all started in the second year of my MTech. So like we have to do project in second year. Like the whole year is dedicated to the project work, the research work. So like I was into programming from quite a long time. General programming, not in data science, but still I did some kind of web designing and all in college and all, as you know, in technical fest and all. So I was part of TEDx also before that. So in second year of my MTech, so we have to choose a topic. So I was like bit oriented towards mathematical modeling, some kind of modeling and simulation in petroleum studies on a relevant topic. So and I decided some topic, and basically we have to model something, some to predict something. So when I like got to Google, research some like papers, read some papers, and the thing I found was like even I discussed that with my guide, and the problem was like a core base experiment like that was done by different authors, different researchers, changing some of the specifications, slight specification changes, and they have given their own equations. So I thought like even if I do something, then it would not be a universal kind of thing. If I change some specification, then I'll have to make a completely different new equation, empirical equation, basically, right? Experimentally, and we do it empirically to make a equation. So I thought like might be there is some way we can make it somewhat universal, somewhat more general. So like I got to the internet and searched about that, how what are the like methods to model these kind of things. Then I like got to that word machine learning. So I thought like maybe this is the way. Then I searched some of the papers. So in petroleum also like a lot of work is being done in machine learning and AI. So I went through some of the papers and looked into that. And by that, like I had an intuition, if we can apply this, like in, for example, on in the small level on my MTech project, we can make some what a kind of a general approximator or general model from which if I had the sufficient amount of data to train on, right? So and at that time, like like I remember exactly, like I started from orange, like many people have. So like I started from orange. Basically, I did some modeling and it was fun actually to make predictions.
What is
Orange.
orange?
Orange is a tool, right? Open source visual tool for data science and all.
Okay, got it.
We can just draw links in between the tools and create model, something like that, right? So it's
Okay.
based on top of Python only, so it's an open source package. So I started from there, and but the thing is like as we move forward and do some more work, then we feel the necessity of automation. So for that, like we have to ultimately move on to programming. So I did some programming in Python previously. So like it was not very hard, and like I followed some YouTube channels. We have like very good YouTube channel as Code Basics. So I like followed the tutorials from the starting, from the basic data handling, data pre-processing, how to even read the data, things like that.
Oh, you're talking
And
about my pandas videos.
yes, pandas, hyperparameter tuning, like I followed many of them actually. Like for my interviews also, like I referred many of the videos. So
Got
like
it.
you really have a good content actually, I would say. So like I would suggest to anyone like who is going into data science, if he want to go, or she or he want to go into data science. So yes, that was the starting, and slowly, like for an year actually, like for the whole year, I was like making my project, refining my results and all, uh, applying tools, learning new tools, new models, like what all we have, comparing the model, and a lot of work actually. If you see, like when we work in a company, then we like learn very much more. So I've done a lot of work here also. It's been about 6 months, and I've learned a lot. So like that was the starting, the MTech second year project. So the
Okay, so
project
just to summarize, you did 4 years of BTech petroleum engineering. You
exactly.
never thought of data science.
No.
MTech first year, again, no thought of, you are just focused. You are thinking in your mind, I'm gonna be petroleum engineer.
Exactly.
And the very last year, which is your MTech second year, you won't come to know about machine learning. Then you
Exactly.
do all the self study, right? Did in your course, like, did you have any subjects? I know that mathematics is always there, which is
Mhm.
very useful in machine learning. But other than that, did you have any subjects in your coursework related
Yes,
to
so
data
like
science?
no, actually not. So we have, but like that is basically purely mathematical, right? Curve
Mm-hmm.
fitting and all those like statistical methods. So we
Mm-hmm.
have them, but only in like the first year of the MTech. So we don't have any papers or like exams, written exams. In the second year, it is all about the project, your dissertation.
Mm-hmm.
So like I was completely into this. So
Mm-hmm.
like I took a problem, a domain problem from petroleum, and I like applied the machine learning to that.
Perfect.
And
So if
then
anyone wants to transition, let's say you are in mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, take the problem on your domain, then use your math, stats, and coding skill to solve that problem. And if you don't know coding or machine learning, it's easy to learn from YouTube,
exactly,
right?
exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
So now once you learn like it's what point you made up your mind that you want to become a data scientist? Was it in like MTech, like second last year, like 6 months itself?
Exactly. Like they were like, and I see a lot of boom in analytics companies like coming to the campus. Like
Mm-hmm.
many of the companies, like there are a lot of companies, and they're like just hiring for analytics. So and data scientists. So like I like was exploring that in the beginning, in the second year. Like didn't thought of like actually making it a profession. Like I didn't thought, I was just like inclined towards my MTech project. So I have to do a project. Let's do something innovative, right? Everyone is doing projects, so let's do something new. So that's why like I had just that thinking, and like when I worked like for like 4 or 5 months, after that I thought like this actually like I have an interest in this, and if I love something and work in that, then like I would enjoy the work, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at that time, like after 4 or 5 months, I thought maybe I can move into this if I get an opportunity. Exactly. So yes, that was the time.
Got it. So Halliburton, it's a very big US based petroleum company. Did they come in campus, and what was like interview process? And
So at my time, like it didn't came to campus. This time they did, but at that time, like it was off campus, completely off campus.
okay, so you applied off campus, and
Yes.
many times people argue that if I apply as a data scientist, and if my background, let's say your background was petroleum engineer, people argue that they will not even get an interview call. Like, why would company call you for an interview if you don't have data science background?
So I think like that's not completely true. I have one friend, so he was like inspired by me somewhat, and like he prepared for the data science and all after the college, right? Like lot uh, later to me actually, and like he got couple of interview calls. Like he made a good resume, and the main thing like I saw in his resume was projects, a lot of projects.
Mm.
related to computer vision, related to optimization, something like that. And like he's actually selected in one of the companies, and he's like working with the AI company, not in petroleum, but he's also a petroleum engineer. So like I don't think like that is completely true. If you
Mm.
give your efforts, then probably you will get. There are like numerous companies. If you see in LinkedIn, also like everyone like is hiring. And one more thing I would like to add is lot of companies like say 1 to 2 year of experience, and like people think I am a fresher, I don't have experience, I won't apply to this company. But we shouldn't do that actually. uh, Companies might consider you like
Mhm.
uh, right, seeing your profile, seeing your skills. So that is a thing. And actually, and one more thing is, if you really want to go into the data science field in your domain, maybe at first you won't find a job in your domain, but you can always gain experience from other companies, and you can later move on to your
Got
uh,
it. So how important is the domain knowledge? Let's say for companies like Halliburton, when they receive two resumes, one is petroleum engineer, but self-taught data science guy versus the other one is BTech, like proper BTech degree with data science. Like how, like when they evaluate this, right? Like what kind of role the domain knowledge or domain expertise plays?
So like exactly, I don't know from the company side, but what I think is, if you have the domain, right, if you are like, I'm applying for Halliburton, right, uh, and if I have the domain of petroleum, then definitely I somewhat would get an edge, right?
Yes,
So with, even like we work always like in any data science company, they have their subject matter expert, the SMEs, right? And if they hire someone who is from the same domain and he's also into data science, then that will be a better suit for the company, right? Because he
exactly.
has the knowledge of both. Because the first thing important in the data science is the domain knowledge, right?
Hmm.
We should know what is the business problem, what value this will be like we will get from solving this problem with data science. So the thing is like the most important part is the data science. I think like machine learning is just a tool. First thing is
Mhm.
your domain knowledge.
Yeah, that's an important point for anyone listening because people get into this inferiority complex that, okay, I have done mechanical engineering and now I have wasted my 4 years. But then you have not really wasted those 4 years. You have gained domain knowledge in mechanical engineering. You have, of course, learned mathematics and statistics. Now you can apply for a company in mechanical domain. That company will prefer you rather than computer science graduate because you know a lot about domain. And then you have math and statistics. All you need to learn is programming and machine learning, which again, as you mentioned, like you did not have any coursework. You learned it on your own by
Exactly.
watching my videos, like my videos and other people's videos. So YouTube is a great platform where you can learn things on your own. All it requires is basically passion and interest, right?
Exactly.
So if someone wants to transition, let's say there is an electrical engineer, or let's look at even a different scenario where the person is, let's say, Bachelor of Commerce graduate. Do you think that person can transition to data science? And if yes, what would you suggest? Like, what will be the step-by-step approach?
So like I think it is definitely possible. So the best way to check that is that thing is possible. You go to LinkedIn, search by BCom and data scientist. You will get like many people like from
Mm.
economics,
Hmm.
BA economics, Bachelor of Commerce, moving to data science, right? And you pick your strong point, what you have as your domain, right? If a BCom guy is transitioning to data science, then he would get an edge in a financial firm, right? A financial firm like Goldman Sachs or anything. So a banking firm, right? So
Hmm.
they would have an edge there. So definitely it is possible. So the first thing is your domain, exactly. And machine learning is not very hard, like as we have seen. So you can learn. It is just a tool
Hmm.
to to do your solve your business challenges in a different way, a data driven approach. So I think it's definitely possible. And the good thing is you can always get in touch with the guys who are already working, right? A BCom, if someone is like they have did their graduation in the Bachelor of Commerce, then they can definitely find a guy on online LinkedIn who actually is working as a data scientist, and like take guidance from there. So that's a good thing in like our
Got
social
it.
networks and all we have.
And there are ways to approach people on LinkedIn. So you need to
Exactly.
learn like soft skills, right? Like don't like push them too much,
Exactly.
and don't get disappointed if you send a request to 10 people. Maybe two will respond, or maybe one will
Exactly.
respond, and that's okay, right? Like
That's okay.
why you should take it personally that nine people did not respond. Oh my God, this is not happening. Like just change that attitude, guys and girls. Okay, cool. So any like you have any tips for like interview preparation or resume preparation? Like resume preparation, we already covered that. If you are from a different domain, make sure you do self-learning, Python, machine learning, whatever. You work on a lot of projects, you put those projects on your
Exactly.
resume, and you keep on applying. And let's say, as you said, like there are enough jobs, so you'll get a call. But once you get a call, like are there any general tips, interview preparation tips that you want to discuss?
Yes. So like the first thing that comes to resume is that if if that particular person has, like for example, domain in mechanical, then if he had done some projects in mechanical related to data science in his like masters or bachelors,
Hmm.
then that will definitely, I think, will give an edge in the interview, because that shows like how you understand the business problem in this particular domain. And like I'll always say, like, do lot of projects, lot of hands-on, right? Like we
Hmm.
cannot just read and go. And another thing in the interviews are there, like most probably there will be coding interviews, right? Not that level maybe, right? Most of the companies, but like you still should be somewhat
Easy
familiar with
like
Python.
easy
Exactly.
like basic coding.
Basic coding, right? Yes. So that is like the most important thing. For like the hardcore coding, there are always like the computer science guys are present there, so no issues. So first thing is your projects, and statistics. Yes, I would
Hmm.
like to add that also. So definitely there will be many questions from that statistics also,
Okay,
and what you have done. So
got it. And machine learning questions like
exactly.
general
Exactly.
methodology,
The intuition behind them, yes, they
the
can.
intuition as well.
Yes.
Correct. So I have received this question many times that okay, we don't have ideas on projects. So what I say is, don't put like dummy projects like Titanic data set or iris flower classification. Like just don't add that. That looks very bad on your resume. You can find many project ideas online. Even I have on my YouTube data science project series. I did two projects as of February 2021. I'm gonna do more projects. So one is for Bangalore home price prediction, where I build the website, end-to-end website, where you
Yes.
learn about UI, Python class, everything. And then
Hmm.
I did sports celebrity image classification, like Virat Kohli versus Maria Sharapova and so on. You
Hmm.
can take maybe that project and customize it for, let's say, spiritual guru like personality classification, or let's say
Exactly.
politician classification, or movie star classification. When you do that,
Exactly.
you are building your own project, so you are
we
going
have
through all the
to we have to like get our creativity in also. We can't
exactly.
do it. So
Now
that's
see,
the
you have to collect your own data. You can't use the data set that I created, so that way you're not copying. Don't think you're copying. Like
yes, exactly.
you use web scraping, or there's a tool called Fatkun which can help you download images. So you are doing data collection. You are doing data cleaning. Then machine learning, right? Like I build simple logistic regression. Maybe when you do your classification, let's say for movie star, you might end up using, let's say, lasso or ridge regression. Who knows, right? So the things will vary. So that way, if you give a unique flavor and put it on your resume, it will really look good. And during the interview, you will have a good conversation. And I think one of the tips during the conversation is, you kind of want to drive the interview. Basically, you want to talk about your projects,
Exactly. Exactly.
interest the interviewer in a way that he wants to know more about your projects. And see, it's your project, so you have kind of a more control. So
Exactly.
these are like soft skills that if people follow, like getting job is not that hard. Correct?
Exactly.
Cool. All right, Pradyumna. So I think that's all the questions I have. We had. Is it okay if I put your LinkedIn link in the video description, just in
Sure.
case.
No. Yes. Sure. No issue.
All right. So friends, yeah, Pradyumna, again, successful transition story from petroleum engineer to data science. Again, like self-learned data scientist. He did not have any coursework during his BTech, MTech. He learned everything through YouTube videos, and he made this transition. If you have any question, feel free to connect with him. Of course, he's busy, so be respectful of his time. But yeah, he's a nice fellow, so he'll also help. And if you have any other question, post in a video comment below, and we will try to answer that. Okay, great. So thank you very much.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank
Thanks.
you. Bye.